my second video today, mates. And, yeah. So, I was looking at some YouTube videos recently by some users such as ToolTime9901 and The Amazing Atheist, and I guess Jesus Freak, and guys like that, my favorite YouTubers. And I noticed that in the bottom of their screen, about right where I'm pointing right now, there is an ad that says something like, is God real? Find 6 reasons why he exists, or whatever. So I decided, what the hell, let's click on the link, see where it leads us. So it led me to this web page, which I'm going to be reading off to you right now. Let's see what these religious websites have to say. And I'm not going to be looking at the camera because I'm going to be looking at my computer screen, because that's where everything is actually written down that's on these websites, on this web page rather. Is there a God? Does God exist? Here are 6 straightforward reasons to believe in God is really there. To believe that God is really there, I'm sorry. Just once, wouldn't you love for someone to simply show you the evidence for God's existence? No arm twisting, no statements of you just have to believe. Well, here is an attempt to candidly offer some of the reasons which suggest that God exists. But first consider this. If a person opposes even the possibility of there being a God, then any evidence can be rationalized or explained away. Okay? It is like if someone refuses to believe that people have walked on the moon, and that no amount of information is going to change their thinking. Photographs of astronauts walking on the moon, interviews with the astronauts, moon rocks, all the evidence would be worthless because the person has already concluded that people cannot go to the moon. I would like to make a brief point here. I have no problem believing that people have walked on the moon, but at the same time, neither photographs, nor interviews, nor rocks would be enough to prove that. Moving on. When it comes to the possibility of God's existence, the Bible says that there are people who have insufficient evidence, but they have suppressed the truth about God. Who have seen sufficient evidence, but they have suppressed the truth about God. Sounds like propaganda. On the other hand, for those who want to know God, if he is there, he says, you will seek me and you will find me. When you seek me with all your heart, I will be found by you. Before you look at the facts surrounding God's existence, ask yourself, if God exists, if God does exist, would I want to know him? Here then are some reasons to consider. 1. Does God exist? The complexity of our planet points to a deliberate designer who not only created the universe, but sustains it today. I'm going to have to go ahead and ask, how do you define complexity? At what threshold do you consider something to be irreducibly complex? And why do you think the universe runs by your personal view of complexity anyway? Chew on that for a bit. Moving on. Many examples showing God's design could be given, possibly with no end. The Earth! Its size is perfect. The Earth's size and corresponding gravity holds a thin layer of mostly nitrogen and oxygen gases, only extending about 50 miles above the Earth's surface. If the Earth were smaller, the atmosphere would be impossible, like a planet Mercury. If the Earth were larger, its atmosphere would contain free hydrogen, like Jupiter. Earth is the only known planet equipped with an atmosphere of the right mixture of gases to sustain a plant, animal, and human life. What the fuck does that say? I mean, the universe is a big place. There's bound to be at least one planet like that. The Earth is located the right distance from the sun. Consider the temperature swings we encounter, roughly minus 30 degrees or plus 120 degrees. If the Earth were any further away from the sun, we would all freeze, and closer we'd burn up. Even a fractional variance in the Earth's position to the sun would make life on Earth impossible. The Earth remains this perfect distance from the sun while it rotates around the sun at a speed of nearly 67,000 miles per hour. I thought it was larger, but whatever. It is rotating on its axis, allowing the entire surface of the Earth to be properly warmed and cooled every day. And our moon is the perfect size and distance from the Earth for its gravitational pull. The moon creates important ocean tides and movement so ocean waters do not stagnate, and yet our massive oceans are restrained from spilling over across continents. Well, that first argument about the Earth kind of falls flat, I think. It's been addressed way too many times. if anyone there wants to really add to it, make it more credible, feel free. Water. Colorless, odorless, and without taste, yet no living thing can survive without it. Plants, animals, and human beings consist mostly of water. About 2/3 of the human body is water, and you'll see the characteristics of water are uniquely suited to life. It is an unusually high boiling point and freezing point. Water allows us to live in an environment of fluctuating temperature changes while keeping our bodies at a steady 98.6 degrees. Water is a universal solvent. This property of water means that thousands of chemicals, minerals, and nutrients can be carried throughout our bodies into the smallest blood vessels. Water is also chemically neutral, without affecting the makeup of the substances it carries. Water enables food, medicines, and minerals to be absorbed and used by the body. Water has a unique surface tension. Water in plants can therefore flow upward against gravity, bringing life-giving water and nutrients to the top of even the tallest trees. Water freezes from the top down and floats, so fish can in the water. 97% of the Earth's water is in the oceans, but on our Earth there is a system designed which removes salt from the water and then distributes the water throughout the globe. Evaporation takes the ocean waters, leaving the salt, and forms the clouds, which are closely moved by the wind to disperse water on the land for vegetation, animals, and people. It is a system of purification and supply that sustains life on the planet, a system of recycled and used water. Basically, what this argument is telling me is that a certain chemical reaction would be impossible without God, and certain physical reactions that have to do with that chemical reaction would also be impossible without God. Did I say chemical reaction? I did not mean chemical reaction, I meant chemical. That a certain chemical would be impossible if God did not exist. So, yeah, no. The human brain simultaneously processes an amazing amount of information. The brain takes in all the colors and objects you see, the temperature around you, the pressure of your feet against the floor, the sounds around you, the dryness of your mouth, even the texture of your keyboard. Your brain holds and processes all of your emotions, thoughts, and memories. At the same time, your brain keeps track of ongoing functions of your body like breathing pattern, eyelid movement, hunger, and the movement of muscles in your hands. The human brain processes more than 1 million messages a second. Your brain weighs the importance of all the data, filtering out the relatively unimportant. This screening function is what allows you to focus and operate effectively in the world. The brain functions differently than other organs. There is an intelligence to it, the ability to reason, to produce feelings, to dream and to plan, to take action, and to relate to other people. The eye can distinguish among 7 million colors, is an automatic focusing, and handles on astounding 1.5 million messages simultaneously. Evolution focuses on mutations and changes from within existing organisms, yet evolution alone does not fully explain the initial source of the eye or the brain, the start of living organisms from non-living matter. Okay, first of all, evolution totally explains why the eye and the brain got started. The eye and the brain were originally simple mutations, and they themselves evolved. It's not like the first animal with eyes had just like a human eyeball. No, it was like small patches that could tell if light was there or not. And then over billions and billions of years, trillions of years even, that structure gradually became more and more complex through pretty much random mutations over several generations, and that's how it turns out. Basically what I'm getting from this website is a huge argument from incredulity, as I thank, by the way, ToolTime9901 for coining the phrase. It's basically saying, oh, well, I personally can't believe that any of this happened without God, but, I mean, we all know that it can. If you can't believe, that's your deal, but that's not evidence. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here. I might actually make another video about this and split it, one video for each of the 6 sections, but yeah, in my last video I promised you only 2 videos, but whenever that's not working out, I'm going to make more. So, for now, peace the fuck out.